Our lead story this evening, earthquake activities are said to be silently continuing in Dominica. According to National Disaster Coordinator Nathaniel Isaac, scientists continue to monitor the ongoing activities.
We have had scientists coming in and out doing different tests because of issues we have on the north of the island. While in the recent times, maybe in the last month or so, the earthquakes are not as intense. And let me be careful how I use that word, in that persons may not be feeling it as often, but the activities continue from the information we have from the Seismic Research Center. The activities continue. The Office of Disaster Management still continues to prepare for any eventuality and continues the monitoring, continues to work closely with the Seismic Research Center on monitoring those activities.
And that's National Disaster Coordinator Nathaniel Isaac. General Manager of the WASCO, Bernard Etinoff, says there is need for an investigation into what appears to be diminishing volumes of water availability in Dominica. He told a National Integrated Water Resource Management Stakeholders Workshop today that the water levels are cause for concern.
The problems being encountered with some of our water systems are no secret to any Dominican or visitors to Dominica. Many of these problems stem from landslides and the washing of debris into the intakes, causing severe siltation and resulting in a water quality that is unfit for human consumption due to the high levels of turbidity that we experience. These adverse impacts are further contributed to by our development practices, where we choose to fell trees, where we choose to build our homes or engage in agricultural or other practices, and the manner in which we undertake those activities. These are things that need to be considered and a conscious effort made to minimize the negative impacts on the environment. We recognize the fact that we have lots of rivers, lots of water, but we are also mindful of the fact that some of these rivers appear to be diminishing. It would appear that the volumes that existed several years ago are no longer here with us today. Our water resources are not the same, at least not from the naked eyes. This is more noticeable, however, during the dry season, when many communities suffer from reduced volumes of water, resulting in water outages, water shortages at times. We need to investigate the causes of these and take the necessary steps to minimize any human error that may be contributing to this undesirable situation and resulting in reduced volumes of water availability.
He says sustainable management practices that seek to balance the demand for water and the impact of the environment is essential to satisfy the needs of its customers.
Whereas the WASCO has a mandate to provide potable water to all Dominicans, we do so with significant reliance on the natural environment, and hence we recognize the need to be environmentally responsible in all our actions. Good environmental practices are therefore central to the activities of the WASCO and are always considered when major works are being undertaken in an effort to limit any adverse impacts of such undertakings on the environment, and as far as possible we even seek to enhance the quality of the environment in any area in which we undertake our activities where we can make a difference. Sustainable water management practices that seek to balance the demand for water and the impact of the environment are therefore essential if we are going to satisfy the needs of our customers in a cost-effective and sustainable manner. We need more than ever before to take into our planning that our resources are finite and need to be preserved and enhanced for generations to come. These are the reasons behind Dominica's signatory to the Millennium Development Goals, which has as part of its major objectives the reduction of the number of persons living without access to potable water and suitable sanitation services, as well as Dominica's endorsement to the LBS protocol, which seeks to reduce water pollution from land-based activities.
General Manager of the WASCO, Bernard Etinoff, meantime Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Lands, Housing, Settlements and Water Resource Management, Davis Later, says Dominica has recognized the need for ratification of international protocol and to institute public policies to guide the implementation process.
I note the objective of this consultancy is to prepare a national integrated water management policy statement for the Commonwealth of Dominica. A policy intended for ratification at the highest political level and will set the overall guidance for management of the country's coastal and freshwater resource and advocate for ratification of the Land-Based Sources Protocol LBS. So it appears to me that the stakeholders present here will be engaged in a multi-sectoral approach to address water and threats to integrity of water supply. You must ensure, however, that the views of the community through community-based organizations and the representatives are carefully considered and featured in your policy statements and recommendations. This will be a most important determinant for success of this forum and for other fora to follow dealing with sustainable issues. Today, we are here to further our efforts to ensure that all the necessary policy statements and protocols are in place for implementing integrated water resource management principles and goals for sustainable management and development. As you are aware, Dominica is well known as the nature island of the Caribbean. We can even boast that it is the nature island of the world. Therefore, I am excited that this consultation is taking place at a time when we recognize the need for ratification of international protocols and to institute public policies to guide the implementation process with a view to ensuring that our water resources are protected and remain pristine for present and future generations.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Lands, Housing, Settlements and Water Resource Management, Davis Later. In more news tonight, Acting Chief of Police, Cyril Corrett, says authorities here have raised concerns over a scam currently being perpetrated through the internet by individuals who identify themselves by different professions. Corrett says these persons offer attractive jobs or indicates to persons that they have won several thousands of millions of dollars in various lottery competitions. He told a press conference here today that several Dominicans have fallen victims to this fraud.
In recent times, the Criminal Investigations Department has discovered a scheme where counterfeit or fake money orders and United States travelers' checks are posted to people advising them that they should cash the checks, return a percentage, and retain the balance of the proceeds via Western Union, money order, MoneyGram, or other similar means to names and addresses provided. Some of the addresses provided are in Peru. Several Dominican nationals have participated in that scam and have cashed these counterfeit money orders, travelers' checks, and forwarded the balance of the proceeds as instructed, while others have attempted to do so unsuccessfully. The police department wishes to warn the citizens of this country to disregard these seemingly attractive ventures, since it can make them accomplices, expose them in complicity in the criminal act, and allow international criminal networks to exploit the scarce resources of the country. Any person who has been in contact with these individuals and may have received any money order or other monetary instrument with a view to negotiate cash is asked to contact the Criminal Investigations Department in person or by the telephone numbers 767-266-5157, 767-266-5165, 767-266-5185.
Acting Police Chief Cyril Carrette. UNIFEM Representative Cherise Aidoha says the spread of HIV/AIDS in Dominica are mainly through heterosexual activities. She was speaking at a roundtable discussion here this week, geared at focusing on preventing the spread of HIV/AIDS.